this is um, one form of collective intelligence is the fact that individual people, uh, can apply their intelligence to the same issue, situation, problem, whatever, uh, and give contributions to it. Different groups have their own special perspective or information that they can offer to the situation. Um, and the interactions, when diverse individuals, people can give input and just have it land, uh, but there can also be, and they can revise, like in Wikipedia, there's a lot of different individuals and put in their input, and it kind of just lands there, and different people can revise, edit each other's input. There can also be conversation where it goes back and forth, and the way people and groups are thinking is influenced by the way other people and groups are thinking. And that adds an additional layer of collective intelligence to this distributed intelligence. But the sense, given any situation, there's lots of people who have lots of different kinds of smarts and resources for smarts, like information and perspective, to bring into a collective inquiry about whatever the situation is. So being aware of that resource is part of what wise democracy is all about. It's a valuable resource, and you don't want to waste it or misuse it or erode it. Uh, so wise democracy seeks to minimize alienation, domination, and conformity, because alienation, people are not going to work together. Domination is going to, certain voices are going to rule over other voices or silence other voices. And conformity is everybody's going to think the same. So all of those reduce the potency of distributed intelligence. You want the diversity. You want good ways to handle diversity, but you want diversity. And you want not just diversity, usually diversity, the word diversity, as I've noted in the several uh, diversity related patterns, but it's worth mentioning here again, uh, that people think of diversity nowadays largely in terms of the kinds of diversity we use to oppress each other. So race, class, gender, culture, sexual orientation. These are uh, these are kinds of diversity which, if somebody's in the in group or the out group in terms of the larger culture, the people in the in group mess with the people in the out group in various ways, silence them, beat them up, whatever, don't listen to them, think of them as inferior. Uh, so we want uh, we want diversity, uh, and we want to be able to use it well. So we don't really go like the alienation, domination, conformity, and we don't want to have it. We don't want to think of diversity as just those forms of oppression and liberation. We want to think of all the different ways people are diverse, particularly things that have specifically to do with intelligence. How do they think? What is their perspective? What kind of information do they have? What kind of care do they bring to a conversation? These are forms of diversity which are independently variable from these other more obvious forms of diversity, and we want to protect all those, and not have alienation and domination and conformity mess with them. Uh, so we want to encourage and creatively engage many diverse voices, and in doing so, we are enlivening the distributed intelligence that is available, and then we can tap it, and it gives us, tapping into it will give us better solutions and better way forward than we had before when we were less aware, and better solutions than we would have if we let alienation and domination and conformity squeeze everybody down into a distributed stupidity or an alienated intelligence. Um, Distributed intelligence is represented by networks, just in general. Uh, Science, the global scientific enterprise, lots of scientific collaborations. There's probably, I would guess, the majority of scientific journal essays and reports are by multiple people. The sense of people all over the world, often people from different institutions are participating in the same research. Open space is a intrinsically distributed intelligence. You have lots of people doing different things. And DF and World Cafe bring those people together in various ways. And there's a practice that I don't know its name, I research it, but where engineering firms will put out, here's the problem where we're trying to solve, and whoever comes up with the best solution will get $10,000, something like that. And people submit all sorts of solutions, and one gets picked and run with by a corporation that makes millions of dollars off of it, but they give their thousands of dollars of reward to whoever came up with the solution. And that's a distributed intelligence. And I realize, and Wikipedia, of course, I mean, you could do that with public problems also. Uh, that would be an application of it. And I realize that there's lots of similarities to crowdsourcing. And I realize that this is the intellectual crowdsourcing. You're crowdsourcing intelligence here, rather than, for example, in crowdfunding, you're crowdsourcing money. So there's different. This is an important subset of a more general category of crowdsourcing.